During Okinawa, as ships would pass us, we could hear them holler, "Come on, Texas."
We were all a bunch of kids.
We were servicing this ship, but it was saving us.
The men who served on the Battleship Texas weren't all born in our state, but they knew the meaning of Texas pride. They understood the value of loyalty, hard work, and doing what's right. Fighting for what you believe in, but also taking the time to have a little fun. Barely a month after the Titanic sank on its fateful voyage, the Battleship Texas was launched in 1912 and commissioned by the U.S. Navy in 1914. The USS Texas was the second New York-class battleship outfitted with steel armor and an impressive armament, including 14-inch guns. The Texas was a game-changer. Those 14-inch guns could shoot half-ton projectiles up to 12 miles. She was the most lethal weapon in the world. In World War I, she escorted convoy missions and served as part of the 6th Battle Squadron in the Orkney Islands and Scotland. From 1919 to 1924, the Texas served as part of the Pacific Fleet, and she was the first U.S. battleship to launch an aircraft.
December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
During World War II, the Texas provided critical support during some of the biggest battles.
When I spoke with you about the fall of Rome, I knew at that moment that troops of the United States and our allies were crossing the Channel in another and greater operation.
On D-Day, the Texas provided firepower for the soldiers fighting on the beaches of Normandy.
We started bombarding there at Omaha Beach and Pontotoc. A little later, they brought up some of the wounded Rangers aboard our ship. Then we went up and down the coast bombarding. They brought some German prisoners on about that same time.
Days later at Cherbourg, the Texas engaged in a gun duel with German shore batteries. A shell hit the bridge, resulting in the Texas's only combat fatality.
One hit, and it went right up and took the whole bottom of the bridge out. Well, Christensen was sitting there, and it killed him right out. But the other guys in there, they had legs and arms, everything blown off.
Later in the war, the Texas went to the Pacific, where she provided support for the landing at Iwo Jima.
Of course, there was only one pair of binoculars for 15 men there, and everyone wanted to see the action. So in all fairness, you gave the other guy the pair of glasses.
In April of 1945, the Texas participated in Operation Iceberg at Okinawa, bombarding the coast for 6 weeks.
We were 51 days and nights on battle stations. We'd get a little slack early in the morning.
A few guys would go down and take a shower about every third day, but they'd bring us up food right up to the guns.
The Allied armed forces have been ordered to suspend offensive action.
After the war, the Texas helped transport soldiers home as part of Operation Magic Carpet.
On the way back to the U.S. from Hawaii, the chow line was open 24 hours. The captain said he may not be able to provide every man a bed, but he could provide every man a meal. The returning soldiers and Marines could eat whenever they wanted to, as much as they wanted to.
After 34 years of service and 728,000 miles, the USS Texas was decommissioned in 1948. She found a new home in San Jacinto State Park, becoming the first permanent battleship museum. Now the Texas hosts nearly 100,000 visitors every year, including 1,000 Boy Scouts and youth groups who take part in the overnight programs.
A lot of really cool stuff happened here. My favorite thing was to get inside the big 14-inch guns.
Extensive renovations in 1988 helped to fix corrosion, but even today there's no fighting the constant exposure to water. The Texas is the last remaining dreadnought. We have to save it, because once it's gone forever.